back.
Back.
Jumping straight into the top 8 here. Exciting stuff. And joining me, we have Reverie.
What's up, y'all? I'm back on the mic.
Yep, NB1RS is off now.
Playing.
He's chilling.
He'll be playing in the next pool.
Yep, gonna be playing in the next pool.
I'm really excited about that next pool. I heard y'all saw Mytho meme. That guy is an absolute legend.
Mytho is just sweeping through it.
But yeah, getting into it first, Infinite Blaster.
Okay, so not 20s just yet.
Not yet. We gotta wait for more. But with the beginning of this chart, it might as well be a 20.
Yep.
Because let's see.
Starting off with the very, very fast Jack here.
Let's see if they both get it. Beautiful.
Wow. Wow.
Well, they both missed one, but it is still anybody's game at this
Honestly,
point.
missing one is pretty good.
So a little bit of background. This is originally an infinite infection chart, but it did get a chart in Vivid Wave. And due to the jacks in this chart, this has become one of the most notorious power charts for 19. It is, I would say it's fairly up there when it comes to like the more button-heavy 19s.
As we see these chord trills here, very, very fast. 197 BPM.
Yep. There we go. Nice lasers for both players. Those
Coming up to the probably hardest section of this track here.
those streams are nasty.
Wow, both players nailing it. Just Not2Dey keeping that lead
We go up
here.
to the second track. Do you think the first one, you think they'll be prepared for this one? When we find out. There we go. Wow. It's still
Both players
anybody's
missing a little bit
game.
more there.
Look how razor thin the margin is. It's one near.
One near.
This is the kind of gameplay you can only see at top 8. And Not2Dey slipping away with one error. 2 errors
The
now.
final chords here, very tricky. Not2Dey falling behind by a couple nears here.
Oh, I think
And wow, Alex is going to take that lead all the way to the end. Very, very close game here.
you see these scores? Like,
9-8-4 and 9-8-3 on
I think,
INF-B L-aste-R.
I mean, if the last song was indicative of anything,
Oh yeah,
we're in for a good time, folks.
hoping for another close one here.
Yep, absolutely.
And this was a protected pick from Not2Dey, so let's see if they can take it to a Game 3 here.
Game 3, I'm excited for that one. So, going up and Not2Dey seems like the pick is
Wow,
working
just
out well
get
for
it
him.
through those jacks.
That slowdown hits you like a freight truck.
Not2Dey just showing off why they protected this track.
Beautiful hand trip from Not2Dey right there.
Holding a massive chain here.
Watch out, you don't want to get that commentator's curse hitting. But no, it doesn't seem like Not2Dey cares.
The commentator's curse is just
These players are too
immune.
good for
They're
it.
immune.
And just like that, Not2Dey coming
Big
with a
kill
healthy
here.
lead. And, oh my god, those triplets.
Oh
He
my
connected
God.
that.
Holding chain through those stairs is amazing.
Triplet stairs are probably one of the hardest patterns you can learn in this game. And he still managed to connect to all of them.
Both players having no issue with the Sophon there.
Wow.
Let's see if Not2Dey can carry this lead all the way to the end.
I think it's looking good for him so far. These last drills.
This
seem
final
working
run is
out.
tricky.
Indeed.
Oh, picking up a few nears there. The gap does close in a little bit.
Will be enough. Will be enough for Alex to make that comeback.
Jax.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, it
And
was
we are
so
going
close.
to a game 3.
We're getting a game 3 here.
Again,
Just
what is up with these scores? I don't understand.
982 versus 981. Wow.
Now,
That was so close.
you know what the strat is?
What?
The more strained your face, the more likely you are to get ball crits.
the GERBERA-For Finalists stink face.
Yeah, stank face. Right away, we're starting off with the intro to Gekko Rambu.
But sped up. It may get these players.
Not2Dey coming out of that alive with a tiny lead of about 1 near. Or 1 error, rather.
The Red Alice song, I forgot the name.
Masakari Blade.
Yep.
I've actually never played this card, actually. Like, the only time I have ever had any
It's
exposure
in
is
these
in this
medleys,
song.
yeah.
Yep. And now we are going into the Kyokugen section. Or no, yeah, it is Kyokugen.
Yep, seeing Kyokugen again. We'll see the 24th Trill again.
Fun fact, the upcoming lasers here, you don't need to hit them.
Yep,
So,
these lasers are,
they are fake.
they're still being, these
Everyone.
players are still
Can't
hitting
risk
them.
it, can't risk
Yep.
it, especially in high stakes like this. Here we go to the first major trill. Let's see how it goes for everyone.
Trill.
Oh, that actually might have
And
shifted
the lead
things.
is swing over to Alex here during that 24th Trill.
And they're dead even right now. It's anybody's game at this point.
GERBERA section here,
This is
but
a
not for
regular GERBERA.
finalists. Vanilla GERBERA.
Now we're at the GERBERA-For Finalists.
Now we're at finalists.
This is such a hard card to hit, honestly.
Yeah, the hand trip cannot be understated here.
Now, right here, we are coming up to the part that we were talking about, the infamous quad jack. The quad
The
jack.
quad jack.
A whopping 41 buttons per second. How might is that? Let's see how both players pull it off. This could might as well change it. Okay, oh, here we go, here we go, here we
Here's the
go.
long one.
Oh,
And
Alex
Not2Dey
taking it
falling behind
beautifully
there.
right there. But Sakazuki, this is where it all comes down to it.
Yep. We see the players adjusting their speed here.
Again, it's slightly faster than the original song too, so hopefully that timing doesn't throw them off.
Both players should be very familiar though, as this was
This
the
was the
qualifier.
qualifier, yeah.
Let's see if Alex can hold this lead. It's a big lead, but
This ending is is deceptively tricky. Like, you need to know
those
what you're doing.
lasers, yeah. And Alex
Sign up.
is
An
going
S.
to hold an S. Wow. To trip you up.
What's underrated is the beginning. The beginning streams are probably going to, like, if you don't play it right, you are going to have a bad time.
Wow.
It's possible to, like, completely near bomb that beginning.
Yeah. Super, super excited for this one.
Ooh,
Also, quick
so
shout out
neat.
to Frums in chat. Hi.
From what's up?
Thanks for tuning in.
Hope you're enjoying the stream. Yeah, see right there, that pattern. Mr.Hour taking the early lead with that. Beautiful
Wow.
playing it. Looks like RDBomber is playing it on mirror. Interesting. So here you go, the first cross hand.
And I believe RDBomber is playing this on mirror, so definitely has some knowledge of this chart.
Sometimes the mirror buff is real. Like, I always thought it'd be like fake, but nah. I personally find that it helps with a lot of 1920s gangster mind bluff.
But RDBomber is falling behind here. I will mention, it is RDBomber's first game on the Nemesis tab.
Not to mention that this is Mr.Hour's pick, so he is going to have the home field advantage. We go to the first jack.
Very true. Oh!
Oh,
we have
he
a
crashed!
track crash from
He forgot to
RDBomber.
turn on the... He forgot to turn off the excessive gauge.
Oh no!
That is tragic.
A tragedy.
Oh, you hate to see it. my gosh. Behind it on. Zara. Hey, Bomber, you're taking the next 2 sets, right? Don't worry, I think RDBomber is not out of this yet. He still has.
We're gonna need to see a reverse sweep from RDBomber if he wants to take the set back.
But the next set, I feel like Mr.Hour will have a hard time on this next hit.
I don't know. I've seen him play that one.
Blastix?
Yeah. Next up we have Blastix Riotz. Very, very power chart, but I will mention
Mr.Hour cleaning it up with an S.
With an
Beautiful.
S.
If you play Osu Mania or Beat Saber, you know this chart. This is the game where the song comes from. And the reason why the charts in Osu Mania and Beat Saber are as iconic as they are.
Yep, and the other element, or RDBomber is going to need to take this to a game 3. So let's see if we can.
Absolutely.
Let's see if he can recover from this.
I think it's a good chance because this is a very power intensive chart.
Yeah, and I should mention Mr.Hour has been playing for an hour,
Hey.
so the stamina may be drained here for this.
Doesn't seem like it's been an issue for him. He's only behind by one error.
One error.
Both players playing that first stroke beautifully, I might add.
One-handing here.
One-handing, like, the buttons actually are tricky because it's like
Yeah,
one FX
it goes to different rhythms than the lasers.
Right here.
Wow.
Right here. You need to use both hands for that section if you want to hit it on time.
Oh, and a whole drop from Mr.Hour, but it's still
still
going to hold the lead.
RDBomber taking a few nears, eating a few nears right there. Extending Mr.Hour's lead.
As we get into this break here before the highlight section.
And that's where it's going to be decided. Like,
The calm before the storm.
absolutely. It's not even that calm either. Like, right here,
Yeah, the one hand is pretty insane.
Going to relatively fast. Oh, a drop laser by RDBomber.
No.
That might have killed his. That may have killed his chance at the third round. Here we go, though. This is where it gets decided.
Blastix Riotz.
Right there, you see, like, you have to hand grip that middle part if you want to hit it right. Mr.Hour did catch a few misses right there.
Both players just nailing those chord trills.
Here we go. The trill of the song. Let's see if they can get it.
Oh! Catching a few earlies there.
But they're both playing it really well, too. It's not
We
over
have
until
one
it's
final
over.
trill.
It's not over. This is RDBomber's last chance if he wants to stay in this round. Mr.Hour cleaning it up with a 2-0.
takes it with a 9-8-2. Incredible performance there.
Hey, lower down. Show those beautiful eyes. Yeah. So I will note that there's a section in the song that is very similar to the ending of the middle of Discontrolled Galaxy, where you have to deal with a bunch of you have to juggle buttons with lasers. You just like constantly move your hand back and forth.
Oh yeah, it's very, very. You need to move a lot for this one.
Yeah.
And that's why it's such a famous power chart.
It's also very recent too, so I mean, the fact that it gained so much notoriety in such a short amount of time just really shows like how popular this chart is.
Shout outs to Ashround.
So I'm going in with a first burst right there.
Really just showing that this track is 321 BPM.
And they're pretty even too. Mr.Hour taking it with an early one near lead.
Yep, and this was a protected pick from Mr.Hour.
So he does have the advantage, home field advantage. So we are playing LaMreLs right now. Yeah, these stairs are just insane at this speed.
And holding chain there, wow. really just proving why he protected this hit. Oh, and a drop hold from Mr.Hour.
Bring him back, but I mean, he still has a fighting chance in this game, in this match right now.
Yeah, but the gap is only down to a couple nears here.
Exactly a couple nears, in fact. Oh, no, never mind. Commentators curse.
This is going to be an accuracy battle. You don't see that too often on the power chart.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And
oh,
ITG Alex shifting the tide.
Behind.
It's not over though. You still have to go through that discom-like section. That's going to throw off a lot of competitors.
Yep, let's see if Mr.Hour can recover from that drop hold.
Right here, look at that. You have to move your hands around the entire board so much.
Closing the gap a little bit, but just not enough. Only have a little bit of the track left to go.
This might put Mr. Hour in a disadvantaged position because right after that he's gonna have to play on ITG Alex's block to protect. Both players nailing those crosshand lasers.
And ITG Alex is going to hold that lead all the way to the end.
982,
that
985.
drop hold was
that was
detrimental. Wow.
But I mean, still, look at these scores on this chart. The court streaming will
with
fight
the
you.
FX hold.
Yeah, oh, definitely. But like, personally, I think the hardest part of the song is the middle, the slowdown with the lasers.
The slowdown section is brutal.
This part has very awkward timing as well, so
yep,
both
and the
players
lasers are kind of easy to drop there as well.
Both players, QC pace. They played that beautifully. This Mr. Hour taking the early lead.
Mr. Hour just holding that chain all the way through that intro section.
He's keeping the chain.
Keeping the chain.
He's building up the lead to around 15,000. And he gets his first drop right here. Right here, that laser is so difficult.
And we're gonna get into the slowdown section here. Mr. Hour in a tiny lead here.
So right here, you have to decide like what hand you're going to cross hand, because whatever one you pick, this section plays very differently.
Both players having no problem with it at all, holding that massive chain.
Oh, the dropped laser from Mr. Hour though.
That is going to widen the gap a bit.
But it's going to come down to the chord streams. This is the part that makes the song what it is.
So let's see who has more of a mastery of these chord streams.
Mr. Hour kind of struggling a little bit actually with a lead that's like increasing towards ITG Alex.
And that gap is going to widen. Alex is really showing why he protected this one.
He's showing complete mastery of this chart. Another 995? Are you kidding me?
Wow. Incredible.
ITG Alex closing it out with a 995 on a chart of this caliber.
And Alex is going to take the set with a 2-0.
By tag. The laser section. One of the laser sections, it does sample possession. So
I actually didn't know that. That's
you're only going to hear possession in this chart, so all my 2DX and DDR enjoyers out there, shout out to y'all.
And I'm pretty sure this chart is very famous for those 4-note jacks, but the hand trip is not to be laughed at. The hand trip is pretty insane in this one.
There's also a trill where you have to hold like one VT and one FX, so like you're gonna have some very awkward positioning right there.
And the LC trills are very tricky as well.
RDBomber, I feel like he's kind of angry after that Mr. Hour set, so let's see if that feeds into this set right here.
This is the redemption round.
That beginning
that
jack
down.
right there was insane. I didn't even remember that one. good little hand trip at the section right here.
Wow, Not2Dey just nailing those one-hand sections.
Here we go, possession. Both players. RDBomber used that to his advantage and closed the gap significantly between them.
Yeah, just down to a couple nears here.
That hand trip is insane. Like, I have a tough time doing this myself, but okay, the few nears that kind of ate at his lead.
Honestly, I feel like it'll just come down to those 4-no jacks.
It's going to come down to the jack. So, right here.
Gap is getting wider and wider, though.
Here we go with the trills that we were talking about earlier. Right there.
Oh, beautiful.
And that's a sign when you know you're going to see those 4-no jack, those quad jacks coming up very soon.
It's a warning sign.
I will say though, it is slightly slower than on TENKAICHI, so it's like marginally easier to time on, but still, it's still going to be extremely difficult to hit.
Here it comes.
Not2Dey's lead, cutting it!
And RDBomber takes it.
RDBomber takes
the lead.
Beautifully. Wow.
Wow.
You were right.
Oh my
it did
God.
come to those quad jacks.
It came all the way
That quad jack
down to
turned the tide absolutely on that when you're following along with Gumi's vocals. Since they're like single notes, like you have to be like on point. It's like deceptively lower density.
There are the occasional breaks in between them as well. The 8th note breaks. So those are going to be kind of hard to keep the rhythm.
Speed of 199 BPM. Insane.
Yeah, let's see if RDBomber can get redemption.
Absolutely.
Or if this is going to go to a game 3.
Both players very even pace right now. You see right there, that's the stream I was talking about. Like, those single notes are fast. It's just the heat getting at you right away.
Non-stop.
You know, I always wondered when people make Untitled covers of the song, how much training they have to do to catch up with Gumi's vocals right there. Not2Dey keeping up
and the
very
hyena
healthy.
lasers getting RDBomber.
Not2Dey's lead very healthy at the moment. But like we keep saying, it's not over until it's over. So there's plenty of chances for RDBomber to catch up.
Especially with the highlight section at the very end. But I am going to make a safe assumption that Not2Dey is very familiar with those alternating jacks. Since it is their protected pit. A couple of drop pulls there from RDBomber. And Not2Dey is kind of just running away with it. Let's see if RDBomber can catch up again. Oh, and a drop laser. It's going to be very hard to recover from this.
This is going to be a tall, very tall mountain to climb. Again, with that stream. With how much you have to juggle, it's amazing how both players are able to connect everything together here.
Alternating jacks here.
Those jacks are killer. They're like, you're supposed to play them like trills, but...
Wow, both players just showing mastery of that section.
Not2Dey closing it out with a
991S. Incredible performance. And we have just received word that, the final track is going to be black or white gravity. And we see Not2Dey having a 999 UC on this.
That is,
I do believe RDBomber has a very high score on this as well. So we'll see who can find consistency enough.
The beginning is a killer, I'll say that.
Yeah, the beginning is rough.
That beginning is like a 21 on its own.
And Not2Dey suffering the effects of not having premium time.
Oh.
Losing a bit on that beginning, but pulling through on those holds.
He's doing pretty well.
It's evened out.
Not2Dey coming out with a 1 near lead.
Let's see if these players can remember
Crosshand. The crosshand. That's the hallmark of this.
As we get into this trill here.
Now those alternating BTFX, those are hard.
RDBomber picking up a couple of earlies.
Crosshand.
But it's still too close to tell.
First crosshand, both players hitting it.
Crosshand.
That's not necessarily crosshand, but there's a lot of hand movement that might as well be. Not2Dey coming out with a 16,000 lead.
Yep. RDBomber just picking up so many earlies here.
Now,
it's going to take a lot to come back, especially with how consistent both of these players are.
This is important for RDBomber because if he doesn't make it, he has 2 losses, so he cannot advance to the next pool. But I don't want to jinx anything right now. Crosshands being so punishing these players.
And it looks like Not2Dey is
closing
it
out.
This.
Again, another
with
S.
Another 19 S.
So it looks like we're starting off with Black Emperor. This chart is also individual difference because you have the spin.
This,
not the spin.
Not the spin,
but the
yeah.
It's like
it's
a pseudo jack.
It's
pseudo jack. So the way you're supposed to play is like you're supposed to trill it, but it is a very difficult power to get. You need to be trained for that.
Not to mention the mini jacks just throughout the song. And the Soflon. There is a bit of a slowdown in the middle as well.
Can you imagine if they added that to the KC13 Emperor side part?
That
would make that chart like impossible. As if it wasn't part already, but both
players going through those trills beautifully.
All correct. Oh, that's hard.
Wow, Alex is
one hit.
Wow, both players are tied here.
A dead even pace right now.
But holding chain through those trills is like very impressive. RDBomber behind, but not by a lot.
Like just the rapid fire of these buttons are insane. And RDBomber takes this.
A very slight lead here from RDBomber.
One near thinnest of margins. And
and the laser drop in that one-hand section. I do believe this is where the Nemesis tab comes into play.
Yeah, definitely.
Nemesis tab knobs are very different than home controllers.
And we're about to get into that trill section, those jack sections that we talked about. Both players hitting it.
Oh, catching a few earlies and no locking into the earlies is very detrimental for RDBomber with the missed laser at the end. There is still the trill at the very end.
It is
that
possible.
Could be made up for.
It is possible. Oh, another missed laser.
Another drop laser. And this was a protected pick from RDBomber.
That's going to...
That's unfortunate. As we see 9-8-8-8-8-8-8-8 from Alex.
Him, a very notoriously difficult 18.
Him.
It was my 11 done chart.
Yeah, very famous for being in the 11th done.
coming down 11th on that was a chore and a half.
Wow, on him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because you have to deal with like the one-hand CBC.
Oh yeah,
as well
and
as
the
like
slowdown.
And the slowdown is also an eating factor. But usually the one-hand triplets at the end are going to hurt. Let's see if RDBomber can take on Alex on his own pick. Right here, we're going to see a crosshand.
Let's see if we can get a game 3 here.
So the slowdown isn't terrible, but it does increase quite a bit here. So you have an increase of almost about 30%, I'd say.
The intro is very straightforward.
The intro is very straightforward. Yep. Good rolls from both players. That is deceptively hard. That is harder than it looks. Alex.
RDBomber falling behind a little bit here.
So we're about to approach the first slowdown, if I'm not mistaken.
This is the
here we go, here we go. This part is one of the most difficult parts and is probably the 11-dan killer for most players because of like the high speed that you're playing at.
And then the slowdown here.
Right here.
We do see a speed change adjustment from Alex.
Wow. Well, it might hurt him when it speeds back up because now you have to deal with this one-hand triplets.
Yep, Alex holding that chain though. Very impressive.
Beautiful port stairs.
And then we're gonna need to see a speed change
He does slow
adjustment
down.
as well. Oh,
missed
missing
the
that
chain.
slam.
Happens. Those one-hand triplets being absolutely brutal, but both players seem to have no problem with that.
It's gonna be really hard for RDBomber to come back though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's too far in. Very unfortunate, but still offered such a great showing. And such is the way of the tournament, right? Just
it's hard, yeah.
It's the nerves as well as the nemesis cam. It's just there's so many variables working against you.
9-9. I think it's gonna be like a 9-9-7. Oh no, 9-9-8.
Wow, Alex picking up a 9-9-8 on him maximum for the 2-0.
Yeah, no. Like
I
talked to City the other day. I'm like, are they adjusted for like harder charts off Here We Go? And apparently they're not. It's a uniform distribution, so RNGesus is blessing us with these picks.
Yeah, I mean, we saw triple cross like 3 or 4 times yesterday.
Oh god.
So sometimes it does feel like there's some weights in the back being pulled.
And the second song is going to be another repeat as well, so both players had that chance to like study the charts in the previous sets we just saw right now.
Let's see if the players did their homework here.
Now Mr.Hour is trailing behind, but not by much. He is still very much in the running for this set.
And again, is a protected pick from Mr.Hour.
So he does have the home field advantage. Showing his familiarity, both players showing their familiarity with this chart and the gimmicks that
and Not2Dey missing a one-handed section there.
Both players getting both jacks amazingly, and Mr.Hour taking it. I will say, like, the very nature of this chart makes it so easy to like rush it, so you end up with like a bunch of early nears. But it seems like both these top players do not have this problem.
Gotta switch hands there. Oh, and Not2Dey drops the hold there. That is such an unfortunate hold drop.
That is, but
this is a pretty big lead for Mr. Hour. Let's see if he can carry it all the way to the end.
there is one last big section that might make a difference. Those lasers there. But looks like Mr. Hour is just going to run away with it with a 993.
Wow, a 993. We see a new personal best here.
I think we're going to see a game 3. I think we're going to see a game 3.
Yep, I think we're going to the game 3.
Yep.
Wow, I would love to see that tiebreaker.
Go ship, no, something. Nice. Oh, they made 7-7-7 in the second side. That would have been a really fun set to watch.
Those two are very personal as well, so yeah, that makes sense. I mean, honestly, all the 19s are personal.
All yeah. 19s are its own game.
Yep. We'll see the intro here.
Not2Dey showing his familiarity with the chart there. Going up with the early 5-4 near lead, I want to say. Either way.
And Mr. Hour falling behind on those holds there.
Yes.
Honestly, some level 20 holds there at the beginning.
And Not2Dey just completely building it up, building that lead further and further.
And Mr. Hour just catching a bunch of nears on this one-hand section.
Meanwhile, we have Not2Dey. I think he's on almost PUC pace, if not. And there we go. While Not2Dey gets a few misses, he still has a wide lead of 70,000 points.
It's going to be very hard to recover from Mr. Hour here. Unless there is a drop laser or something.
A drop laser could very well be the difference between making it to top 4 and bowing out at 5th or 6th.
And a bunch of earlies on that vertical trail there. So let's see if Not2Dey can hold this lead all the way to the end.
Wow, it really shows the difference of like how familiar Not2Dey is with this chart. Like we saw, he had the UC on it, so he knew what he was doing when he decided to tech this verse.
And wow.
And closing it out with a 996.
996, just an incredible score. You do have to remember, these players are playing on Nemesis cabs.
Absolutely. Yeah. I played this chart before. It is a button check and a half. Like, you need to have your buttons down because...
Honestly, it's a sight read for me too.
Really?
So I'll be watching along.
Right.
So we'll see for the radar here, it's notes and peaks.
Yeah,
so yeah,
it's very like, it's an accuracy check.
Accuracy check. And for players this high level, it's honestly consistency check.
Consistency chart, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, both players 20.3 goal force, so very, very even matchup here.
And yeah, this chart is actually, it became one of my favorite 18s as I played it a while.
And I just can't believe we're down to a sight read on a level 18 to make it to top 4. That's amazing.
This is Mistake on the Lake, folks. Probably the best American Sound Voltex event at the moment.
Yep.
We're going to see how well, who has the better buttons. Starting off with a nice and gentle stream there with some interlocking hold notes.
Very tight race so far.
Mr. Hour showing that he is indeed the 18 enjoyer he says he is. You cannot take, but Not2Dey very close behind with only a 2 near difference. They want to make some groundwork. They are most definitely in a position to.
Mr. Hour just holding chain like it's not even a sight read.
he's playing like he's like PC this chart.
Yep, just increasing the gap more and more.
Can't count out Not2Dey. Not2Dey is still not that much behind actually.
Wow, both players getting through that laser.
See that? It spelled okay on the lasers there. Now we get to those last buttons. Mr.Hour having a healthy lead of around 39,000 points.
I like this chart.
This is a really fun chart. Yeah, I definitely recommend. Anyone who is able to play 18, pick this up. It is so much fun to play.
Wow, Mr.Hour just really clean on those offbeats there.
I love this chart because it trains so much of your fundamentals. It tests your hand grip, it tests your one hand.
Wow,
it tests
beautiful navigation through that one hand section.
This is like the premier 18 to better your fundamentals.
And Mr.Hour is going to hold this lead.
And Mr.Hour takes it
Beautiful.
with a 9 and 5.
A double S on sight read is just incredible. And Mr.Hour is going to advance to the top 4.
So the winners of this pool are going to be Mr.Hour
and ITG Alex.